Hey y'all, hey, I'm back with another video, another what the fuck are we talking about? I ain't gonna hold y'all. Every time I tried to bring my ass on here to do this video, something kept happening every day to where I'm like, okay, well this just happened. Let me wait to see to tomorrow if there's a response or if any follow-up. And then every day there was something new that was happening. I was literally been trying to wait since Iceman came out and I did my last video to like really sit down and do a video, but I can't because every 5 seconds y'all out here acting the fool. My God, today. So let's start off with this video. I guess we could start off with, y'all know I like to do, we start off with music around here first. So let me say, I'm a little Tress. Wait, I'm a little Jess. I think it's how it go. But we in the club, man. Ooh. Yeah, they hit, but they broke though. And when it's time to pop, they know where they at. Bitch, first of all, my favorite song by Young and May is Walk. They was trying to get me. They was trying to get me out. They don't know what I'm about. Y'all do it for the clout. The streets like where you at. Told niggas I'm around. I was in a... Young and May dropped her album. So excited. So if you don't know, bitch, I'm a very huge Young and May fan. Bitch, that's my homie right there. I love Young and May. Love, love, love. One of the most, like, really think about this. Ooh came out 10 years ago. Think about that. Like, I want y'all to really dig into the deepest part of y'all mind. Ooh came out 10 years ago. At this point, Young and May is a vet in this bitch. Like, she's literally a vet. And obviously, Ooh is not the only song that she has. She has a decent amount of songs. I just think that Young and May is independent, and she also doesn't, like, she's also a stud, so she doesn't really fit into, like, to me, like, what most people want from mainstream rap girlies, which is very femme presenting, very let's throw ass in a circle type of shit, and Young and May don't really fit that. But my thing is, regardless of all of that, she still has been really, really, really consistent over the last 10 years. Now, yes, she has not done a lot in like the last few years because of her health issues. You know, we knew she was off the Henny. We got to look about a boatload the Henny. The Henny was really getting to her. It was just a lot. She got sick. Y'all know that girl really, the girl that she was messing around with, or that was her girlfriend, played on her head top. And when she got sick, when I come out and be like, oh, or after she was like getting a little better, the girl gonna come out and be like, oh, that's why I did this and I did that, because she thought she was going to get one up. But the rest of us was looking at her like, bitch, you look stupid. You dumb, you dumb, you dumb. If that was supposed to be, you know, your person, then why would you come out here after y'all not together and say, well, when you was sick, I did all this shit for you? No shit. Me and you was together. That's how it should be, bitch. Anyway, y'all been playing on my girl's head top, and I don't appreciate it. I'm glad that she's back. I listened to the album. The album is sickening, and I really like the album. I think she did a great job of explaining to us, I think like the last 7 years, like what's really been going on, things with her health, like just, it was so good. I can't wait to listen to a little bit more because it just came out like this past Friday. It's so good, but I'm gonna listen to a little bit more to try to get, you know, some more thoughts on it. I'm not gonna hold y'all. This right here, there's some Jose Cuervo in here, so if y'all, that's why, right? Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there on the forefront, right? So I really like Young and May's album, right? And one of the reasons that I really wanted to come on here and really talk about it, but I wanted to give it a week and some time, and then other shit happened or whatever. The Young and May album, I listened to that after I listened to Latto's album. So Latto dropped her album, Big Mama. I'm not going to hold y'all behind the Drake album, but like obviously Drake's album is first as far as anticipation. But for me, I was so ready and excited for Latto's album. Like, I might not talk about her maybe too much on this channel, but I really go the fuck up for Latto. Like, that little light skin whore, that's my bitch. Like, I really go up for her. Obviously, you know, I'm old enough, so I've been watching Latto since she was on a rap game. The crazy part about it is I started watching Latto like fresh. Like, I think the rap game came out maybe when I was like towards the end of college or whatever, and I had like got my first apartment. That's how long I've been fucking watching Latto. So for 10 plus years at this point. Always thought she was very I was watching her when she was Mulatto, okay, before she was just Latto. And I always thought she was very talented. I always thought she could rap her ass off. I have not had every single album, but from the album that I think is like the Georgia Peach album, which I think is like 2019, 2020, whatever album that is, from that album forward, I've heard all of her albums. I always think, okay, so to be fair, right, I feel like when Latto first came out, right, or at least when I'm aware of her, right, so I think that's like her second or, I want to make sure I'm right, because I don't want to get it wrong, because I'm pretty sure that's like her second or third album. I want to say it's maybe her second or third album, I think, like I said, that I came around, but I want to make sure, because I don't want to say anything wrong here. But let me see. So if we're going to her albums here, right, so okay, so she had Miss Mulatto in 2016, Latto Let Him Know in 2017, the regular like self-titled Mulatto in 2018. I'm trying to see if I know anything off of here. Yeah. Okay, so Queen of the South. Queen of the South, which is 2020. So that's like 3 albums. That's like her 4th album in, right? Okay. But I did listen to Mulatto too. So to be fair, 2018. But really, she kicked off super hard with with her album in 2020, which is, what is it? Queen of the South, right? And since then, like I said, I've listened to all of her albums since then. And I feel like subject wise, like those first 2 albums, like Queen, okay, this is how I feel. I feel like, because I'm about to go through it, Queen of the South, I feel like was a really strong, like, specifically for like a rap album from a woman. I feel like it was a really strong like introduction to like the main like stream, right? Like, bitch, this is who I am, this is where I'm from, this is my swag. Like, Latto is Atlanta down. Like, and the Queen of the South album to me, like, really said that, right? Now, to be fair, the Queen of the South album, which came out in 2020, did have 21 Savage on it at the time, because they had just started fucking around on that time, right? But I felt like I really liked the album. I felt like it did a good job of like exploring a lot of different topics, right? Then we move on from Queen of the South to 777, which is in 2022. Now, in my opinion, I don't necessarily care for this album too much. I think because Big Energy was on there, right? And that was like more of a like a poppy type of song, that it felt like that's what they was trying to do with this whole album, was trying to make it like more poppy, you know, like kind of when Nicki was in her Starships bag or whatever. It was given that, and it didn't really land for me all like that. And then we move on to 2024. Bitch, Sugar Honey Iced Tea, no cap, is Latto's best album. It's not even fucking close. I want y'all to be clear. It's not close. Sugar Honey Iced Tea, the album that she put out in 2024, best Latto album, hands down. I run that shit to this motherfucking day. Like, that album fucking goes, bitch. Obviously, Georgia Peach goes. Great intro. Bitch, Big Mama. Play Big Mama right now. Play it right now. That's that's like my favorite. That's top 2 favorite Latto songs of all time. What the fuck are we talking about? Big Mama goes, bitch. Bitch, Shrimp and Grits. These niggas be shrimp and grits. These niggas be jealous, sick. What? Goes the fuck off. Bitch, Brokey, H&M, Copper Cove, Ear Candy. Like, that album to me, Sugar Honey Iced Tea, I don't care what it sold. I'm talking about what it did. That album fucking goes. And to me, it didn't even get enough shine as it was supposed to. But again, the Sugar Honey Iced Tea album was very like lovey-dovey, but I also felt like, again, she covered her bases. Now, with this new album, Big Mama, now, what I will say is, I want to be fair and say it's only been a week. So I really didn't even want to come on here and talk about it, because it's only been a week, and I want to give it a little bit more time to sit with it. Because to be fair, when I went into listening to this album, right, I was really excited, because I'm like, okay, this is Big Mama. Yes, she's pregnant, or she had just had her baby. She recorded the whole time she was pregnant. I'm like, yes, bitch. Give me mama raps. Give me, you know, like, give me the whole journey. Like, not just her whole journey of her pregnancy, but I thought that this album would be very much so a journey of her telling of her telling us, like, you know, like, her life story, like, not fully, but a condensed version similar to, this is why I bring Latto up, because of the whole Young M.A thing. Young M.A's first track on that album, listen to that. She condensed damn near her whole life into like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It was amazing. And that's what I really wanted from Latto on this project, but throughout the whole project. I wanted her to chronicle her life or whatever, right? A little bit. I wanted her to tell us about her, you know, before she was a mama, finding out she was pregnant, becoming a mama. I know she's new, but you know, all of those things. Obviously, I knew that she was going to talk about 21 Savage because, again, as somebody that has a 2-year-old, I truly understand. Like, let me start by saying, well, we're going to get there in a second, but I understand that when you're pregnant, and specifically when you're pregnant by a nigga that you actually give a shit about, which most of you bitches don't even know nothing about, we'll get there in a second, but when you're pregnant by somebody that you want to be pregnant by and you're madly in love with them, bitch, when you get pregnant, the love for that man, if y'all did it the way, you know what I'm saying, that it was supposed to be done, or not supposed to be done, but done, baby, the love when you're pregnant is like exponential. It's just like off the charts. So I definitely expected her to talk about 21 on this album. What I did not expect was a full love letter album. Now, like I said, I want to listen to it with different ears because that was my intention of going into this album. Is I thought I was going to hear Latto, the person, Latto becoming a mama and how that affected her. Obviously, yes, a little bit about 21 and their relationship. But this entire album was a love letter to 21 Savage. And I'm not going to hold you off first listen. That was off-putting. Now, I'm going to be clear. This is not off-putting because I'm a fucking hater. Like, I have a man. I've been with my man for over a decade. I'm not hating. I have a beautiful child. That's why I put on, I think I've tweeted like, I love my man down. I really do. But I wish that I would have heard more about Latto, the person, and not necessarily Latto, or not even Latto, but 21 Savage, the boyfriend. I don't really care to hear that. No shade. Like, you could have gave me that on 1, 2, maybe at the most 3 tracks. But this entire album is a love letter to 21 Savage. Now, with that all being said, let me go back to what I was saying in the middle of everything, which is that I understand, to be fair, I have to remember that this woman was pregnant. She was pregnant by a man that she really loves. I love the fact that a couple of days before this album came out, or a day before, or whatever, that you saw, like, there was a video or whatever that Latto had put up or whatever, and it was her with 21 Savage's 2 other baby mamas. And she was in the Lambo with both of them, and she was like, Big Mama, 5 kids, okay, period, because it's my 1 kid and then his other 4. Now, would I do that? No. But I like that because to me, it just, clearly people are still going to say whatever they want to say. But I've been saying, if you've been watching this channel, I've been saying, y'all be way too invested into people's shit that y'all know nothing about. Y'all have no idea what the arrangement is between 21 Savage and Latto and whatever baby mamas that he had. Y'all keep saying, oh, he's married. Y'all don't know for sure that he's married. And even if he is married, y'all don't know what that situation is. I've been telling y'all forever, y'all need to mind y'all motherfucking business. Because it's clear that everybody, because this is my thing. You don't gotta like it. Who gives a shit? It's not your life. As long as every adult that is involved is all on the same page, which is clear that everybody is on the same page, I don't have nothing to say about her. It's one thing if Latto was out here fucking around with 21 Savage and don't nobody know. Like, they've been linked together forever. Like I said, the first album that he was on was 2020, meaning they've been fucking around for probably over, at this point, like 7+ fucking years. So I'm saying all that to say is that I'm about to shade the fuck out a whole bunch of y'all. I don't care. This is the facts. I'm sorry that a lot of you bitches can't relate to, number one, because Latto said in her interview in the Deska, which I thought was amazing, that they planned that pregnancy. Number one, most of you bitches can't relate to planning a pregnancy. Okay? Okay? Most of you bitches is getting pregnant by accident. Y'all getting pregnant by a one-night stand. Y'all getting pregnant by a nigga that y'all barely even motherfucking like. So, a lot of y'all bitches don't even know what it's like to plan a pregnancy, bitch. I do. I planned my pregnancy. That's why I get where she coming from. That's number one. Most of you, I think they said 50% of pregnancies is unplanned. So half of you bitches wasn't even planned by your parents. Number two, y'all also don't know what it's like to be what y'all think, let me be clear, because y'all think y'all be madly in love with these niggas. Y'all don't know what it's like to be with a nigga for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus years without providing a baby, and then you as a woman being like, you want to know what, now is the time, and y'all deciding together to have a baby. Y'all don't know nothing about that, so y'all can't talk to this bitch about almost anything when it comes to that. Okay? So y'all might not truly understand what it is to plan for a kid, for you to actually want a child with the nigga that you're fucking with, for you to actually be in love with the nigga that you're having a child with. Obviously, ideally, that's the case. But a lot of y'all bitches don't know that. So y'all can't fucking relate. I relate, and so that's what I'm saying. I relate to that. I relate to planning for your kid. I relate to being madly in love with your nigga. However come. To me, this kind of ties into what she had originally said about, like, her retiring. I knew for a fact she wasn't going to retire. I said, this bitch is pregnant as hell, right? She coming towards the end of her pregnancy. She's sitting here thinking, baby, the minute that this baby come here, because she said, I don't want to leave my baby at all. And she even said that in her interview. But I'm sitting here saying to myself, as a new mama, girl, you going to feel like that at first. I'm here to tell you. You're gonna feel like that at first. That's why I knew the retirement shit was bullshit. I'm like, she's just in her fifis because her baby is coming. And when your baby is coming and you want your baby and you're excited about your baby and your nigga is excited about your baby and everybody around you is excited about your baby, yes, you are on some bitch, I'm never leaving my kid. I don't want to do nothing but be wrapped up underneath her 24/7. And a lot of times that is the case. However, baby, once you get past like your initial like baby high, I would call it, like your high of having a baby, but you won't want to go out and you're gonna want to do regular things. And it's actually important that you go out and do regular things. So I knew that retirement was bullshit. So I want to wrap all of that up to say is that so far right now, like where I'm at a week into the album, I'm really not that. To me, it's a downgrade from her last album. I do like Chrome Diaper Bag. I like the song with her and Doja Cat, but I gotta go back and re-listen. Like I said, I was more so expecting, like, Daddy Girls, I think it's just called Daddy Girls, right? At the end, it's like the second to last song before Somebody. I love that song because I wanted to know, and I wish she would have delved more into that. I want to know what happened between her and her father, because as somebody that met her through the rap game, when she came on the rap game, her father was her manager and was her manager for a long time, and then it was clear that at some point in time they split. I would love to know more about that. So in general, I wanted to know more about Latto the person and not just like Latto 21 Savage's girlfriend or wife or whatever the hell it is that she is to him. I didn't really want to know. I didn't want a whole album of that. But again, I'm trying to be cognizant of the fact that she was pregnant when she made this album. And that girl is just so in love and she's so happy, being pregnant and stuff. So I'm trying to keep that in the back of my mind. But I'm saying all that to say is that album or whatever, like the Young and May album, made me come back to the Latto album and be like, girl, I wish you could have gave us this. And I know I spent probably way more time on that than I really even needed to, but I really wanted to talk about that because I was super excited about the Latto. Like, I was so excited, right? Let's get into the Latto and Cardi of it all. Bitch, okay. So, on one of the songs, right, Latto says something about like, oh, bitch said she was gonna buy me a bag, like my man ain't already got it or whatever, like pretty much go to the booth, some shit like that, right? And she was pretty much referring to this last year when there was a leaked phone call or whatever that was let out of Cardi snapping out about Ice Spice because her and Ice Spice don't like each other. And she pretty much was on a phone call like, y'all like, I'm not Latto. Like, y'all think I'm pussy. I'm not. Look, I'm going to beat that bitch up when I can see her. And after the phone call came out, Cardi came out on Twitter, like, literally that same day. She did a very big apology to Latto online, on Twitter, saying how sorry she was. And, bitch, I'm so sorry. And she was like, I'm going to buy you a Birkin. I'm so sorry for that. So then Latto, like I said what she said on her album. She goes to the Breakfast Club, and when she went to the Breakfast Club, of course, they asked her about it, and she said, yes, the song, like, that was about Cardi. She said, and it was more so because, and I just want to say, Latto shaded Cardi a little bit here. She was like, I literally rushed to do the Every Time remix, like, literally within, like, a day or two to help her with her first week sales. Shade. You shaded the fuck out of her by saying I did that to help her with her first week sales. But no shade, Latto. Love you down, sis. Like, I go up for you. But you wasn't as cute as the Airtime remix is, that wasn't really moving the needle so much for that bitch to get like good numbers for her person. She was going to sell regardless, but I caught the shade of that. Then she goes on to say pretty much like, yeah, like I did that verse, whatever. And then literally like a few days later, I'm hearing her say like on the internet, you know, like that I'm pussy or whatever. And she was like, so yes, I was pregnant, I was in my bag, I was in my feelings, and I went to the studio, and that's what I said. She was like, so it wasn't a diss, it was just how I felt at that time. So then Lauren LaRosa was like, do you think like you'd ever be open for a conversation? She was like, yeah. She's like, I'd definitely be willing to have like an open conversation. She said, when? I don't know. She said, because that did rub me the wrong way. She did say that outside of the public apology that Cardi reached out to her, but it wasn't until, according to her, until like 2 months later. And she said at that point she was just pregnant, too busy doing other stuff. And she was like, but long story short, she said she would be open to conversation, but that whole thing made her feel some type of way. So I want to say this before I go on to read what Cardi said in response to that, right? I felt like when I heard the Cardi diss, I said, I think Cardi should say nothing. Cardi should eat it. And to be fair, like, I'm going to give my bitch credit. To be fair, Cardi did eat that. Cardi ate that diss because she didn't say shit. She didn't say anything. The album came out. Cardi was trending the whole day because of what Latto had said. And Cardi didn't say anything. I was actually very proud of my bitch. Very proud of Cardi for not saying anything. She didn't say shit. But once Latto came out and did that interview and said what she said, Cardi, and honestly, to be quite honest, I'm still very proud of Cardi with how she responded. This is Cardi B's response. I truly understand how you feel, and that's exactly why I chose to apologize publicly, because the disrespect became public. I would like to say, I just want to stop right there for a second. That is such like a woman's thing, like especially like to like a man, like if a man cheated on you publicly, like bitch, you embarrassed me publicly, you about to apologize publicly. So she stood 10 toes on that, like that. On that call, I didn't even mean to call you that. I didn't mean any harm. There's a difference in what I said versus what I meant. What I could have said was you was too forgiving and gave too much mercy in that situation. But it was a heated conversation and I let my mouth get the best of me. When the call came out, I was 8 months pregnant, had just released my album, and was extremely overwhelmed and emotional. That's not to excuse what I said, but to let you know where I was in my head. I genuinely felt bad about what happened. In 2025 and 2026, I made multiple attempts to connect. I spoke with your manager, your sister, and even text you directly to take full responsibility. I've always had love and respect for you. I always wanted to make it right, but making it right looks different for the both of us. I wanted to connect with you, but you wanted to address it on your album. Okay, that last sentence was shady. She didn't have to put that in there. But I'm saying I'm proud of Belcalis because normally Belcalis would have just like, she would have just let the hammer go and she wouldn't have cared. So number one, I'm going to say this. Number one, what this gives me is that, because I think Latto said in her Breakfast Club interview, she was like, I understand when people be like, oh, industry friends. She was like, but me and Cardi was really cool. Like, we was on the texting basis. So what number one with this response gives me is that Cardi really does like value Latto's friendship or relationship or whatever the hell they had. She really values it. That's what it gives me, number one, right? That whatever it is, she values the relationship that they have. Number one. Number two, it also gives very much so that like you are trying to make it seem from Cardi's point of view to Latto. It's like you're trying to make it seem like I never really tried to reach out to you, or I barely reached out to you, when that's not true. I reached out to not just you, but everybody around you, not just right after it happened, but even in this year, I tried to reach out to you to make it work or to fix it, and you don't want to fix it or whatever. And she said, I guess, what did she say? She was like, I always wanted to make it right, but making it right looks different for both of us. Now, I want to stop there. This is where I understand where Belcalis is coming from. I really, really do. But this is also where I'm going to have to shoot Latto bail, in the sense of you can't offend somebody and then tell them pretty much like when to get over it. You know what I mean? So when she says we all have different weight, like clearly we both have what making it looks right look different to both of us. And I would have to agree. Just because you did apologize, Cardi, both publicly and in private, that doesn't mean that she has to accept it. And it doesn't mean that, like she said, I have to accept it right this second. So I feel like the pushback I can give Cardi is like, maybe she will, but maybe you just need to give her time, right? Like, you can't offend somebody and then get mad because they're taking their time to accept your apology or taking time to get over the offense. Like, that's on them, on their own timeline when they want to get over it. And I also feel like I've been saying from the beginning, I felt like Cardi should have ate that little shot, which she did, because to be fair, she only said something because of the Breakfast Club, not because of that shot. But I felt like, yeah, you need to eat that, because at the end of the day, regardless of whether or not because I definitely, when I heard the call, like, Cardi didn't have to say that for me to know that that's what she meant. All of us have been there at some point in time when we're talking about something, we're like, bitch, you got me fucked up because I'm not da 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 da, or I'm not this person, I'm not that person. A lot of times, sometimes it is shade towards that person, but sometimes it's not, like, kind of like, bitch, this ain't Phaedra. This ain't Phaedra. Like, when Nene said that, it's like, Phaedra actually ate Kenya the fuck up. Like, it's not like Phaedra just let Kenya do whatever. Phaedra has one of the most legendary reads in, like, the Real Housewives because of how she ate Kenya up. But Nene's point was that I'm not just going to keep it as, even though she ate you up, I'm not going to keep it that civil with you. I'm really going to wreck shit when it comes to you. And when I listened to that call, even a year ago, that's what I took from what Cardi was saying. Yes, she shouldn't, to be fair, like I said on Latto's side, I get how you could feel some type of way, like, well, bitch, you calling me pussy, but I never took it that way. I always took it as her saying, to me, they were separate statements. When she says, to me, it was like this: I'm not Latto, period. Like, there's a period there. Next statement / mind frame, I'm not pussy. I never put the two together, because from what I always took from what she meant is that, remember, that's around the time that Latto and Ice Spice had just fixed it. So I always took it as took that as her meaning, I'm not Latto, in the sense of, I'm not about to piece it up with this bitch. I'm not about to piece it up. And she thinks that I'm pussy, but I'm not. I will really beat her ass, which is what she said. So I always kind of took it, exactly what she said in that tweet is exactly how I always took it. Now, that doesn't mean that that was still a nice thing to say, because it's not. But I never took it as her saying, like, oh, Latto's a pussy and Latto's a bitch. I just always took it as her saying, yeah, like, just because her and Latto was able to piece it up, don't think that me and this bitch can piece it up. Or just because they cool, that don't mean that I'm about to be cool with her either. Again, was it the right phrasing? No, absolutely not. And so, again, I do get Latto's standpoint of, like, that made me look at you funny. I will say that I think all of y'all people on here talking about some, oh, well, Cardi just said how that's how you really feel about her. Da, da. I think that y'all are dragging it, because to act like y'all have never said that before about somebody else and y'all didn't mean it in that way, or y'all didn't hear somebody else say it and didn't mean it in that way, I think y'all are all full of shit. But again, I do think that Latto is valid for feeling some type of way, where I will give people a little bit of credence here, because at the very end, sorry, what I said was shady is when Cardi was like, but you decided to dress on your album. Now, you didn't necessarily have to say that, but this is what I'm thinking. Now, according to Latto, she said you waited till 2 months after the fact to reach out to me. So Latto could feel like, well, bitch, you clearly wasn't that, like, apologetic, because you didn't even reach out to me as soon as it happened. You just went online and you said something, right? That could be the equivalent to her, like, her putting it on her album could be the equivalent to that, to her, right? I also feel like, though, from Cardi's point of view, it's like, okay, well, let's just say it was 2 months that I tried, 2 months after the fact that I reached out to you. Okay, fine. But the point of the matter is, I did reach out to you, and I reached out to you multiple times through multiple people. And instead of just getting back to me, because this is how real grown woman shit, how it should have been handled, is that the minute that shit came out, Cardi should have both apologized publicly. She should have reached out to Latto first. Whether she acknowledged your apology or not, Cardi should have reached out to Latto first, offered an apology, and then went online like she did and offered an apology. And once Latto was in a better place, whether it was a couple of weeks or a couple of months, because mind you, that shit happened back in like September or October. That was more than like 8 months at this point, right? Latto, if she was feeling away, you, a grown woman shit, what you should have did was reach back out to Cardi, especially if she's reaching out to all these other people, because now you get other people involved. You should have reached back out and said, hey, listen, I hear your apology. I saw your apology. I hear you and I appreciate the attempt, but right now I'm not in the space to accept your apology. Give me a little bit of time. or right now with me being pregnant, I'm just not in the mind state to kind of even process all of that. Give me a little bit of time. But really, that's to me, that really is all that had to happen. And then Cardi would have been like, okay, I respect it, but at least you're acknowledging the fact that I apologize. You don't have to accept it, but at least you're acknowledging the fact that I apologize, and you're telling me how you would like to move forward within, you know, our friendship. So, or, you know, just in the meantime. So I just feel like this could easily be resolved. To me, this is nothing that's so big or serious that y'all can't like figure it out. My whole thing is no shade. If Latto was like, in her interview, when they asked her why she pieced it up with Iceman, she was like, oh, because I just think it was the fans getting on my head. And at the end of the day, it really wasn't that big of a deal. That's how I feel about this. This is not that big of a deal. Like, trust me, it's way more bigger things. All y'all need to do is have a conversation separately, talk, hash it out. I think y'all be fine. I spent way too much fucking time on that, but I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. So I hope that they're able to piece it up. Then let's talk about, well, it's been 3 weeks now since Iceman has come out. I'm running into the ground. I'm literally only listening to Iceman, Habidi, Maid of Honor, and then Kalani's album. That's it. There's nothing else on my rotation. Those 4 albums, 3 of them is from one person. That's the only thing that's really in rotation. Love it, love it, love it. Every week it just gets better. It just gets better every week. And so, kind of moving on for Iceman. So Jay-Z, he performed at the Roots Picnic this last weekend or whatever. Y'all know he got his Yankee Stadium 3 nights coming up. One is Reasonable Doubt, one is The Blueprint, and then one is called Extra Innings. I think he's gonna do probably a freestyle probably in that Extra Innings, or maybe drop an album around it. But anyway, he came out and he did his set or whatever. I had such a nice time watching. Oh my goodness. I woke up the day after Roots Picnic. Well, first of all, I watched Roots Picnic live on somebody's TikTok. But then I woke up the next day, whatever, and I watched it fully on YouTube. I got my life. I need y'all to understand, bitch. I'm from Brooklyn, okay? I was born in I'm a 90s baby that was born in Brooklyn. If you think I don't love Jay-Z or Hove, you're out of your damn motherfucking mind. Yes, obviously I love Drake. That's my fave. But if you think that I don't know, understand, or appreciate Hove, you're on the wrong motherfucking channel. Love Hove. Love him. And he did one of my favorite Jay-Z songs, which is Rock Boys. I don't care what y'all say, bitch. First of all, I want to thank my connect, the most important person with all due respect. Thanks to the duffel bag, the brown paper bag, the Nike shoe box for holding all those cash. Come on, American Gangster deserves like more praise. That album fucking goes. I love American Gangster. That album fucking goes, bitch. My favorite Jay-Z song, just in case y'all don't know, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Fight your mom about it. I don't care. Personally, my favorite Jay-Z song of all time is Already Home, okay? From Blueprint 3. Baby, that second verse. Because really the fact is we not in the same brackets, not in the same leagues, don't shoot at the same baskets, don't pay the same taxes, hang with the same bitches, so how am I in the way? What is it I'm missing? Nigga, I've been missing. Nigga, I've been going. The shit that you just witnessed is sin I've been on. And that's what the critics tell me I don't get it. Everybody could tell you how to do it, they never did it. Now these niggas is mad. Oh, they call me a Campbell, but I'm messing with trial. What the fuck, I'm an animal, half man, half mammal. My sign is a sad. This is just what I plan to do. Oh, don't be mad. Baby, that is my... If he would have did Already Home, pack me up. I would have been done. Love Already Home. But yes, he did his set. The set was so good, baby. Chicka what? Chicka who? Chicka what? Baby, when I was a kid and it was time for me to go to sleep, my mama would literally cut the lights and be like, hit the lights, and I'd be like, Jigga. She'd be like, what's my fucking name? I'm like, Jigga. Yes, ma'am, you cannot tell me shit about Hov. I had a time watching that concert. Bitch, State Property came out. Bitch, Memphis Bleek, when I was a child, that was my husband. You couldn't tell me shit about Bleek. You couldn't tell me shit about Memphis Bleek. My husband down. Loved him so much. But shout out to Bleek. Shout out to Freeway. Shout out to Beans. Like the whole bitch, what we do, to this day goes up. What are we talking about? What a great concert. The hair, the sacred drops was sacred dropping. Blue was on the side getting her life. Beyonce was on the side getting her life. And y'all never give my bitch Beyonce credit for being around for the entire state property era, the fall of Rockefeller. Like, y'all don't give my bitch her tens, right? Because that was her husband. But know that my bitch was there that whole time. She was on the side singing Rock the Mic, singing What We Do. Y'all think my bitch don't know? She knows. She knows. Beyonce knows, okay? She knows. Anyway, so yeah, it was a nice time. But anyway, I think he came out and he did Hovey Baby first, right? Got my life from that. And then he went into the freestyle. Now, the freestyle was like 3 minutes long. He shot at everybody in their mama. Let me see who he went at. He went at Tory Lanez and his leprechaun ass and his daddy. He started off with the Tony Busby thing. Then he shot at Kanye. Then he shot at Nicki. I got my life when he shot at Nicki. I said, yes, sir. And y'all trying to say that he was stuttering or he messed up. He did not mess up his lines. He did not mess up his lines. He did it like that on motherfucking purpose. That's why I want people who don't know shit about rap to just stop talking. Stop talking. He did it on purpose, okay? Who else did he get at? And then, obviously, he got at Dame a few times. He got at, what's that man's name? Oshino? Whatever that man's name is. I always been talking shit about him from back in the day. And then obviously, most famously or most reported, he got back on to Drake about the jig is up line. He pretty much was like, the jig is up, like, you looking at the wrong charts. Niggas looked up to Hov, like, I never looked up to them. Like, niggas looked up to me, I never looked up to them type shit. And then he was like, you need to take that shit up with, like, the crackers from, like, your contract says, like, in perpetuity, pretty much, like, take it up with them, not with me. So everybody been on a fucking rampage about that. Again, I'm so glad he dragged the shit out of Tory. I'm so glad he dragged the shit out of Kanye. I am 10 times over the moon that he dragged fucking Nicki. Deserved it. You keep talking about him and his wife, and not his wife, but his children, you gonna get dragged. Loved it. Loved it. Now, when it comes to the Drake thing, right? I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was what's the word I'm looking for? I felt like it was even, right? Because Drake's, and I also want to say, like, y'all know that Sean C from YouTube, that's my baby daddy in my head. And I love him down, but I disagree with him when he was like, he took shots at Jay-Z throughout the entire album. He said he took a ridiculous amount of shots through Jay throughout the entire album. I'm like, okay, sometimes we be a little bit hyperbolic, because there's like, what, 12, 15 songs on Iceman, and out of all of those songs, he referenced him 3 times. 2 which was really a shot, and 1 which was more of a shot at Cole than it even was at Hov. So, like, I just feel like y'all are dragging the whole thing. I want to see how many songs is on Iceman. Out of 18 songs, Jay-Z was mentioned 3 times. 2 of those times, one of them was, we already know how you OGs rocking the jig is up. That's number 1. The number 2 is, or no, that's number 2. But the first one was Whisper My Name, when he said, I take the $500K for dinner. I could never learn shit from them, y'all. So that's 2. And then the third one was him saying, y'all niggas run to Hov for a second opinion, which is not, to me, a real, truly diss. But let's just say it was. Bitch, that's 3 lines on 18 tracks. Sean C, I love you, baby daddy. But how is that shooting at him the whole album? That's 3 fucking lines out of 18 tracks. Please, y'all are dragging it. But anyway, so I felt like what Jay-Z said back was proportionate. Like, I felt like it was proportionate, right? Like, what he said and what you said, and good. And I love that idea of, like, even Drake said, we already know how you OGs, meaning, like, you're my OG, and I know that. So yes, so we know that he looked up to you. That's not that big of a deal. What I will say though, on like not even a Drake side, but more of like, this is what we be talking about with like the capitalism of it all, is when you're like, oh well, your shit said that it's signed in perpetuity. Okay, so if that's actually true, if it's true that Drake's contract said that it was really like that he was signed to life or signed to perpetuity, and you are high-fiving the guy that signed that and being on his side and making fun of the fact that he's in that type of contract, to me it just leans into the theory that like Jay-Z is now, like Jay-Z be trying to act like he's not the system and he's not the man when you are. You are. Because there's no reason that if you really give a shit about independence the way that you say, that you are so gung-ho about, like, him having such a shitty contract. Now, I know a lot of this goes back to the fact that when Tidal was originally a thing or whatever, that Drake decided to go with Larry Jackson. Shout out to Larry Jackson. Y'all want to know something real quick? Y'all know I judged Larry Jackson on Twitter one time. Like, I had tweeted something about him, and he tweeted me back, and me and him was going back and forth in the DMs. Like, y'all let me know one day. I'm going to tell y'all that story time. That happened not that long ago. That happened like 3 months ago. Like, I'm not lying. I'm not going to show everything that we talked about, but know that I have to thread that I am not exaggerating. Me and Larry Jackson was going back and forth in the DMs on Twitter. I'm not capping when I say any of that. So ever since then, and I kind of respect Larry Jackson a little bit more, so not too much on Larry, but Hov was in his feelings because Drake decided to take Scorpion and go to Apple Music with Larry Jackson versus taking Scorpion and going over the Tidal. So that's really where a lot of the tension like kind of boils from. But anyway, but yeah, I don't know why y'all went ahead. The whole hip hop community spent this whole week breaking down the whole thing. It really was not that real. It wasn't that real in the sense of like, yes, he shot out a couple people. Let's bring that up. But like, come on, like let's move the fuck on. Like, it ain't, and I want to make it very clear, Jay-Z and Drake will never have a back and forth. It's never going to happen. Like, the way that Kendrick and Drake did, that's never going to happen. They're going to do what they've been doing, which is subbing each other. And I also would like to say that this is not the first time that Drake or Jay-Z have subbed each other. They've been subbing each other for the last fucking decade and some change. And Jay-Z, other than this like album and the last album, has always been on Drake's album. They've been subbing each other forever. So I don't even understand why this is a big fucking deal. Because they've been subbing each other for years. Okay? But yeah. Then let's really talk about really quick and fast. So I was minding my motherfucking business on the Twitter, okay? And I saw that the Diddy tape leaked or whatever, right? Diddy, Daphne Joy, which is 50 Cent's baby mama, and one of the escorts or whatever, like that video had leaked or whatever, right? So I just want to say, first of all, that when people say it's boring, like, I would have to agree in the sense of like, it ain't nothing, no shade, it ain't nothing I'm about to flick the bean to, okay? Like, it was alright. It was, I've seen better. Like, Daphne has like amazing like titties or whatever, like, but that's, I mean, you could look at her and tell she has great. Mostly, that's what I was stuck on the whole video. Personally, I was more so just looking at her. Oh my gosh, her titties are huge. Like, she has a great set. But outside of that, it was nothing like to write home about. Okay, so in the video you have Diddy, Daphne, and like I said, the escort or whatever. And the majority of the video is really like it's not what was said in a courtroom, but in a courtroom in the sense of like, you know, he would bring in other people for his woman excellent, right? And big niggas at that, right? So that's what it was. He had a huge peen or whatever, you know, and you mostly just see him and Daphne doing stuff. And then you hear Puff in the back. Nah, before we get into what we need to get into, first of all, I want to say, anybody who thought that Daphne was enjoying herself, what it lets me know, if you think Daphne was actually enjoying herself, right, I would like to say that either A, you have very little to no experience with actually having intercourse with women, or 2, you are one of those people that all a woman really has to do is, oh my gosh, and you believe her, and you believe her, and you believe her. You believe a woman the minute that she moans. Daphne Joy was not having the time, even with the peen. She was faking it. She was unenthused. She was just there to be there. That lady was not having a good time. And if you think that's what a woman sounds like when she's really enjoying herself, tells me all I need to know about you. That's number 1. So number 2, so during the video, right, we see Puff walk by, right? I'm going to tell you what, it threw me off. I ain't going to hold y'all. It threw me clean off. So you see the guy and Daphne right on the couch, and then you see Puff walk by. But Puff is like, you know, he's kind of like I think he was maybe getting milk or baby oil or something. But when he walks by the camera, you see him holding himself, right? And then you see him come back. I literally have to stop the video. I said, rewind that shit back. Rewind it back. Because why are you able to hold yourself fully with one hand? Like, I get when people say, I'm a grower, not a shower. But then we saw when he was trying to grow. And it didn't. Now, to be fair, it already has been, like, the escorts have said this. It's been said already that he is dealing with this. It's been said. But the video just confirmed. And it's like, oh my gosh. It's crazy how you feel like you can't learn much more about what happened. And it's like, oh my gosh. It, like, the way that man acts, it all makes sense. And it makes me believe, I already believed, like, I believe Cassie and everybody, like, when they said what he did. But it makes me believe them even more because you're dealing with a damn near micro-peen. Like, you're literally dealing with a man who has a micro-peen. So, literally, the Napoleon Dynamite, it's a Napoleon Dynamite. That's a good movie. Napoleon syndrome, like complex. That's literally what you're dealing with. He has been come in and kiss girls down because he can't. He even said in a video, he was like, I can give her everything, but I can't give that. And what also pissed me off about that video is after I seen his non-existent, right? You don't see him fucking Daphne, but you hear him because the camera is just focused on the escort. But there is a point in the video where you hear him in the back. He's Daphne, and it's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, girl, you. First, I could already tell by listening that you was full of shit, but after seeing it, you are so full of shit, and it pissed me off so much. I don't know why it pissed me off so much that she was lying like that. But it's just like, yes, it makes all the sense in the world why that man act like that. Look at what he worked with. Nothing. He ain't got nothing to work with. So, of course, if I can't, I'm going to get one of these to come and pipe her down. Because I can't. Because I can't. And like I said, it makes me believe even more that he was absolutely, allegedly. I believe that he was allegedly abusive to these women. Because when you already are working with something that tiny, your ego, like, imagine being that wealthy, but that small of a thing. Like somebody said, you should have went to somewhere and you should have got the extendo. All that money and you didn't go and get an extendo. But I also feel like he low-key, like, I already told you, I feel like he low-key gets off on, like, the man as well. Like, it's not just a woman thing. He's also attracted to the man as well, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so that video went around. That was crazy. 50 Cent, you ain't shit. You ain't gonna ever be shit. You talk about some, oh, could you believe having to go to 8th grade and deal with that? Okay, could you, yes, I mean, no. But could you also imagine your father trolling your mother online about something like that? And your father being a terrible fucking person? I feel bad for that child. He ain't got no help at all. And then Daphne Joy going to put up, like, she tried to promote her OnlyFans in the midst of all of this, but then also wanted to put out, like, a statement about her. Girl, it's not to say, and I do want to say this, though. I want to say that just because we saw that video, though, that does not negate the fact that some of the stuff that she said might have happened, and now with everything that Cassie said happened. Just because we saw that one video, that don't mean that there wasn't other wild ass shit going on. That's one video that we seen. That is not representative of the whole. Okay? So I just wanted to say that. But I cannot believe that man got a micro-peen. I wonder how he felt after that video came out. Child, what a thing. And then just to kind of wrap it up, is the whole Cheyenne Bryant situation of it all. To be quite honest, I really don't even care. I never really paid attention to this lady in the first place. And to be fair, the only reason I ever watched any of her clips is because it always said doctor. To be clear, me personally, never gave a shit about this woman. But I only ever paid attention to the clips because it said Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So I said, okay, well, this lady got to have some type of, like, you know, knowledge. But come to find out, this hoe ain't even really a doctor, allegedly. She done lied about this. She done lied about that. Nobody could find her dissertations. We can't even find your damn transcript. Let me tell you something. As somebody that still owes money or whatever from my MBA, bitch, I could still go online right now and go and see my classes. Not even my classes. I logged, honestly, since that whole Cheyenne Bryant thing, I wanted to make sure that I was legit. I logged into my old school account. Mind you, I graduated 5 years ago with my MBA. I logged in or whatever, and it was taking some time to load up like all my old stuff. But I went into my email, and in my email, I was able to find all of my things that I submitted, like through Blackboard. It showed me like when you certain places, like when you graduate, you have to like apply for graduation. So it showed when I applied for graduation. It showed when I submitted my capstone stuff for my graduation. It showed the letter that I got when it was like, oh my gosh, okay, like yes, like your graduation submission have been accepted. Here's your commencement day, all that other stuff. So it's like, if you can't even find that simple shit, I don't really have much to say to you, sis. And at the end of the day, you give straight grifter vibes. And mind you, I don't even like Touré. I think Touré is so full of shit. And the number one thing about Touré that kills me, we about to get in there soon, is that everything that Touré criticizes about Drake can be applied to him. I'm going to do a whole video on that, but I just want to say everything that Touré says about Drake is so weird to me because it fucking applies to him and the shit that people say about him. But either way, that video that we saw of her going off onto Touré or whatever, and you're pretty much trying to insinuate that the man is gay or whatever just because you don't agree with what he's saying. I was like, oh girl, pack her up. You ain't nobody. You ain't nobody's therapist, counselor, nothing. Not talking to anybody like that. Making an insinuation that somebody is gay and saying, oh, you're soft, and equating that to being gay and soft. Girl, you ain't nobody's therapist. And even if you are, you fucking shouldn't be. The same way that Dr. G on Married to Medicine shouldn't be nobody's psychologist, neither should you, sis. Neither the fuck should you. But anyway, I've ran my mouth long enough, though. But y'all tell me... let me see. What y'all thought about Jay-Z's thing? Do you think that him and Drake will actually get into a back and forth? If not, do you feel like the Jay-Z thing was like all above board? Do you think he went too far? Do you think he's dragging it? And tell me what y'all think about the Latto and Cardi thing. Would y'all be mad or not? But get in the comments. Tell me what I'm bye.